Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and I am Fauzan bin Saharudin, a student of Mechanical Engineering Unit LMFI. And for Professional English 2, for this semester we must conduct an interview. So we decide to interview Mr. Izwan as a Senior Engineer Mechanical Engineering at Petronas Kerteh. For this interview, I have all of them has 5 members including me, which is Hafiz bin Yazid, Muhammad Azri bin Reza, Muhammad Amir Faris bin Jafri, Muhammad Fauzan bin Sardin, which is me, and Muhammad Aidil bin Abu Bakar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aidil bin Abu Bakar. Today I will be presenting about our interviewee personal background. I've prepared 3 questions, and for the first one is about more or less about himself. Our interviewee name is Muhammad Izwan bin Saharudin. He is 32 years old, and the position that he holds at his working area is Senior Reliability Engineer in Petronas Penapisan Terengganu. He has a working experience for about 8 years. And for the next question is about his involvement in the oil and gas industry. He is quite new to this industry, which he have been working for about 8 years. Usually, people who are more experienced in this oil and gas industry have about 35 years of experience. For the scope of job that he has to do is analyze data, predict machine failure in about 5 years, improve the plant, optimize the cost during the turnaround, and predict the workforce to conduct the plant turnaround. So basically, for his involvement in this oil and gas industry, he have to analyze data so that he can predict the machine failure in about 5 years. He also have to optimize every aspect whenever the company have a turnaround. Mostly he will do more on the prediction about the plant. And move on to the third question is, how long does it take to get where he is now? During his early years, he was schooling in MRSM Jasin. Apart from that, the thing that inspired him to become an engineer is when he saw a lady with a luxury car wearing a Petronas coverall, and by that incident it boosts his enthusiasm in becoming an engineer. After he finished schooling, he further his study in Taylor's University and went abroad in University of Birmingham to complete his master and degree. Based on his story, he told us that he took about 14 years more or less since he was encouraged by the lady that he saw when he was a young kid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Fauzan bin Sardin. So for my part, part B is about experience as a student. So for the first question is about I asked Mr. Izwan, when you were as a university student, did you face any challenge in managing time? So basically he said that in primary school and secondary school, basically he's not a good student. Because he always use the last minute time study formula, but in university life it totally changed, because for university, if you do that, you will not score. And for the top student in his university, University of Birmingham, in the graduation day, first student is from Malaysia, which is her name is Aisyah, and he got 98% for the course. And now she work at Petronas also as a reliability engineer. And if you want to manage your time properly, if you put some he said, if you put some student life inside you, you will be no problem in managing time, because he shared about a month before the final exam. Basically all the thing that he do is only in one place, which is library. Grateful for the time University of Birmingham provide 24 hours for the student to study for the final exam. And then after that, after the final exam, then he can go to travel, sort of release tension. And for the Malay student, he said usually they too attract by money. So while study, they set up their own business, and then to get extra money. But they have that kind of thing make him trouble to manage time. And then when you have set up your business, and then you have own money and extra money in your study, so you will not focus on your study. You will focus on your business because of money. So the most important thing, complete your he said, complete your study, and then after your grad, then you can choose your life, whether you want to start a business, or you want to continue as an engineer. So my second question is what I asked him, what did you do to cope with the problem and difficulty. So like he said before, he said if you spend your time 24 hours as a student life, you will be able to manage your time properly. Because as a student, you must take all the 24 hours to focus, and like he said, to revise some of the chapters. And then if you give full concentration to for the 24 hours, will be no reason for tak cukup masa in Malay words. And for the Mr. Izwan also said that even though he really study hard for the exam in the university, but he also cannot get the first class degree. So it quite for me, it's quite, as a student, it's quite interesting to hear that. And then some of friends, he said that we can say that gifted, so it means genius. So Mr. Izwan said that for that kind of student, whether he are not study hard, but they can also score. So he said that that kind of student is a gift, in Malay word is anugerah daripada Allah. So as a normal student, we must work hard to to achieve a good result for our study. So that's all for the answer.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Hafiz bin Yazid. So for this session, I'm gonna to share to you about his experience as professional. So as we know, our interviewee Encik Izham have 8 years experience working at Petronas Kerteh. So the first question that I asked Encik Izwan is, what is the challenging task or project that he's faced and how to handle this situation? As we know, in working environment, we have challenging tasks or project that we always face. So Mr. Izwan have turnaround project, which is he had to cover replacement and rectification for more than 600 valve and shall be complete within 25 days. So, how his control and handle this pressure? Firstly, we need to identify the words and check the possibility to complete during that time given. And you need and we need to discuss with the people around your team members, because as a leader, sometimes we need to take them inside as well. Okay, then for the next question, in work environment, sometimes we have uncertainty things happen when we do a project. So my question is, how he make a decision at work, and what is the advice for a mechanical student like us in the future? So Encik Izwan said, as a human, we also make a wrong decision. Whenever you think the decision we do are good or correct, so always learn from the past and continue learn for your future. Then the advice for a mechanical student, whenever make a decision, please come out with fact and figure. Whenever we talk about fact, we have to we have the standard ISO. And whenever we talk about a figure, we never run from analysis, from analytical. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Azri bin Riza, and my part is the reflection question. My question consists of two, and Mr. Amir consists of two questions also. So the first question that I asked Mr. Izwan is, if you are not a mecha engineer, what other ambition will he pursue into? Then he answered, during his school time, he would love to become a professional football player, but then he failed, and after his SPM, he started to interest to become a professional chef. But then his late mom suggests him to pursue another profession since he performs well in his SPM. So then Mr. Izwan chose mechanical engineer, but he said if he is not really, but he said if not, he is really happy to become a professional chef. And the next question is, I asked Mr. Izwan about the youth ethics. Will the youth ethic change because of this pandemic 19? And will it have an impact to the environment in the future? And first thing he said that he encouraged us to grab anything good in front of us. Anything you see that is an opportunities to grow, and grab it. And he also relate with an example of plane that no one have ever wondered that the plane cannot fly this year because of this unexpected COVID-19. He remind us to prepare for the worst and grab the opportunities that can improve oneself. He also mentioned Elon Musk, who are the one who's inventing electric car, and he said Elon Musk is one of the people who causing the oil price drop. Since when using electric car, as you know, it means a better environment, clean system, no carbon dioxide gas whatsoever. And the last thing he reminds us again is to prepare for the worst, gain information, gain knowledge as much as you can, and also try to be an inventor, or try to be an inventive as good as you can. And that's all from him, what he said. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad Amir Farid bin Jafri, and and I will present to you about the reflection. So my first question is, who influenced you to enter this field of work? Is it your family, ambition, or anything else? The answer given from Mr. Izham is when he saw one akak who was wearing an oil and gas coverall and drove a Volkswagen Golf GTR. I'm agree with that because nowadays it's very rare to find a lady or a woman who wears the oil and gas coverall and drive a sport car that the man also interested in. So the next answer that given from Mr. Izhan, which is there are some relatives of Mr. Izham who work at the oil and gas sector. One of them is professional geologist. Mr. Izham was proud to see his relative working as a geologist. He saw how his relative work and make he feel the urge to achieve the dream that he want to. So, for the next question, as you know, the government announced that many companies closed their operation and will declare bankrupt due to the pandemic COVID. In your opinion, will the job opportunities in the oil and gas sector also affected by this pandemic? The answer given from Mr. Izham, which is the pandemic has a very big impact to the economic worldwide. The example given by Mr. Izham, which is Shell started releasing young people around 20,000 to 30,000 worldwide because of the pandemic COVID-19. And the ExxonMobil seem like want to stop their operation in Malaysia. The next answer given from Mr. Izham, which is OPEC handled the oil prices and copes with the problem of the job opportunities in oil and gas sector. With the help of OPEC's operational system, the oil price start increasing around 70 USD per barrel or per gallon. He also said that oil and gas sector have a very systematic way to handle it, and that's why the oil and gas industry can continue living in the future. Thank you.
So we have done our interview, and I hope we can get some valuable knowledge in this interview, and I hope me and my friends will be a good future engineer as Mr. Izwan. And Mr. Izwan also left us with a simple quotes that he give, and for me it's very useful for us as a student. He said that always remember, sky is the limit, so we must to take this chance to prove ourselves that we can do it.